Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Vitold.
Hello, good to be here.
Well, we had a vintage afternoon yesterday afternoon, and I'd like to start with that. First of all, there's a lovely Italian girl, a young girl, Michelle Candotti, who, do you remember, she played the Liszt B minor sonata.
Liszt. And I think the jury wanted to hear more because just playing that piece alone is quite a feat. If you play that piece for any piano teacher in the world, they'll more than likely accept you into their studio.
Yes.
So I think that the jury really wanted to hear more from her, and so.
But she can produce an extraordinary power. Matter of fact, a lot of them can, who are quite small people when you think about it. And some of them have tiny little fingers. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
That stigma that a big sound only comes with size and genetics, I think is not true, because Chopin was a notoriously small individual, and he produced. We can look at his compositions, just what he was able to do. It's quite a.
You liked her. I liked it too. The Haydn. I thought that suited her very, very well.
Yeah, the Haydn E flat major. Piano sonata, one of the more popular sonatas, played quite frequently. I think she did a fantastic job. Very charming, good sound.
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but it was a relief to listen to her, because she is scaled down completely from this sort of extreme intensity that we sometimes experience here with players.
Yeah,
she was a calm, La Dolce Vita, La Bella Figura, etc., etc.
Yes, it was a nice contrast with the Chopin Ballade and the Rachmaninoff as well, the two romantic pieces that she played. So.
I think there's a certain type of young Italian who plays. I love it. It's not aggressive, It's like a wonderful balm.
Yeah.
But that's not a criticism at all.
No, absolutely not. You say quite charming. Good sound from her.
And then after her, this remarkable person, Svetlana Andreeva, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you know a lot more about one of the pieces she played. She played a couple of Paderewski pieces, more or less charmingly, but I don't think that's her forte somehow or other. And then she chose Schumann's Waldscenen, which are basically wood creatures or wood spirits and things like that. And it's very rarely performed as a recital piece.
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
not
I've
like
ever
David Bunzler-Tanze or anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard it quite performed live as well. So it's.
But there's one piece in it called The Prophet Bird. And do you know this?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, it's a wonderful work. It's like a sort of metaphysical question and answer, and there is actually a connection, I thought, because she wore this. People who are listening to us probably saw this black cape.
Yes, I mean everything from her when she came out. The outfit was striking. It kind of grabs your attention immediately.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's what she was kind of going for. That was her.
But that whatever emanation was coming from her, and I really believe this. Rubinstein said the same. That a musician gives off some type of electrical emanation into the audience. That's why live performances are always very, very different.
Yeah, from the moment you walk out on stage, absolutely, it's kind of a whole package.
Do you wanted to say something about the
Szymanowski? I love the choice. Kind of matched her outfit as well. But Szymanowski is a revered composer here in Poland. Kind of gaining notoriety, kind of familiarity over the world or across the world. But these Mosques I consider kind of one of his great masterpieces. It's a triptych based on ancient literary.
Yes, because I've been trying to push this point in these little talks.
Yes.
And also on my blog that literature was very, very important to composers in the past.
Absolutely.
Poetry,
particularly. It's a Szymanowski in particular. Szymanowski was not only a musician, pianist, composer, but he was also a writer. He was a poet. He published magazines, published articles, journals, wrote a novel, and a lot of his friends, as many of these composers, their friends were great writers, great poets, artists of all kind of caliber.
So we're going to listen to the second part of this trilogy. It's called Tantris le Buffon.
Yes, so Tantra's the Minstrel in English. It's based on the story of Tristan and Isolde.
Because Tantris is actually a corruption of Tristan.
It's a part in the story where Tristan is hidden in the kingdom of Isolde, and he's just slayed the dragon, I believe, and he has taken up the position of court jester in their court, and this is my own interpretation of it. It's the moment that Princess Isolde really finds out the true identity, that Tantris is really Tristan.
I think it's important to know the literature, otherwise this sounds just
it doesn't make
like
sense if you don't know. Yeah,
yes.
It's just ink on a piece of paper if you don't understand what it's just sounds if you don't understand the literary elements.
Okay, well, let's watch the clip from the Tantras. Yes, I mean, she really is remarkable.
Yes, this is probably one of the most unique pianists at this whole festival.
Yes, absolutely.
Character-wise and
every which way, yes.
Yes, so.
Exactly. We've heard a lot of the Nocturne.
Yes.
And I happened to hear a very lovely one this morning, played by an unlikely person, I thought. I mean, you imagine these nocturnes, the Nocturne played by a lady at least.
Yeah.
But I think that Andrzej Denisenko, I may be completely wrong, but he could well play jazz, I think.
Yeah.
I just get this feeling. And he played the Nocturne very, very sensitively, I thought. I mean, really surprisingly so.
Yeah, just with great intuition and great sound from the piano.
So we'd like the reprise, just towards the end. Right. So it was just very sensitive, I thought.
Yes.
And it's such the melody always gets to me. Right, we'll move on to Japan now, from Russia. Mendelssohn. And I was saying to you how rare it is these days to hear Mendelssohn in any sort of piano recital.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any Mendelssohn so far.
No.
If I'm not
but I'm talking in general.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Mendelssohn Piano Concerto, I believe, is
yes,
is quite popular. But other than that, it's not performed too
in
often.
Songs Without Words, you never hear it. The Rondo Capriccio, which is quite a virtuoso work, you very rarely hear it.
Yes, I don't have an explanation for you why.
Because it's an extensive piano literature, and of course he was a a prodigy. I mean,
Yes.
people thought he was even more prodigious than Mozart.
Yes. So it's like I said, I have no explanation for you as to why pianists don't perform, but it was nice to hear Yasuko Furimi.
Yeah, well, she played the Fantasia in F sharp minor, so we'll hear a little bit of that.
Yes.
Well, it's very lovely, that piece, and
Yeah,
it's long though, so we couldn't play all of it. Is this the time for predictions, do you think, or not?
I think, in the minds of the public and the jury, that from the first stage, I think we could have made pretty accurate predictions for who's going to be in the finals, but maybe not quite yet.
Because we're going to talk about someone you're very fond of.
Yes. It's Alexander Panfilov. I think he's so far. Him and Svetlana Andreeva have been my two favorite pianists so far. Just everything about their command, their interpretation. It's just quite a treat to listen to.
Because Andreeva plays with incredible authority.
Yes, and interest as well.
Complete commitment to
it. It's something that's, and I believe Alexander Panfilov as well.
Well, I mean, we've heard a lot of seventh sonatas. It's as though there's a great wave of fashion, and I mean, if you know. Anyway, we're going to hear a couple more this afternoon. By the way.
Probably even more in the third stage as well. But
but this one really stood out. I thought
it stood out with command, authority, but there's this in the third movement. There's this reckless abandonment to it, and sometimes that can get excessive. And I wouldn't say it requires restraint, but it requires a kind of subtlety on the pianist to not to overplay that piece. I mean, of course, it's a grand bravura, very virtuosic, but you don't want strings popping out of the piano.
Well, I mean, some of the performances we've heard, I thought that the pianist may be admitted to hospital afterwards.
Exactly, and, that's almost an uneasy feeling for the listener, and so.
Well, it is.
There's a kind of a line that you have to dance around quite carefully.
Yes, but his concept of the structure of this work, and it made sense. When I was listening to it, it actually was cohesive.
Yes, exactly, and that's my point. Is that there's a certain kind of restraint in your interpretation. Which comes off to the audience. And for me, it was quite a pleasure to listen to.
Well, the Precipitato movement, which we're going to hear a clip of now, is probably the one that, agitates most people.
Yes.
So we'll listen to this clip at the end. that was me calling out, by the way.
It's a good reaction from the crowd.
I couldn't help it.
Yes, that's always a good.
But I mean, he reminds me of Gilels.
Yes, I was just thinking that he has that kind of solid sound.
That's right. And also that not particularly demonstrative body language.
Yeah, exactly. Which I enjoy. I prefer, stoicism from the body language of a pianist, and he embodies that very much. So to my taste, to me, he's, I believe, one of my favorite pianists in this whole festival.
Yes.
So
yes,
I would look forward to hearing more from him. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Well, time for us to finish, I think.
Yes.
So we'll see you all tomorrow, I hope. I don't know how many of you are out there, if anybody's watching this anyway. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
take care of your future. Study at Kazimierz Wielki University in Poland.
Uni is cool.
Bydgoszcz is awesome.
The organisers of the 10th International Ignacy Jan Paderewski Piano Competition would like to invite you to the concert halls at the F. Nowowiejski Academy of Music and the I.J. Paderewski Philharmonic Hall. From November the 6th until November the 20th, 2016, 53 pianists from 19 countries, selected from among 164 candidates, will be performing. They will be accompanied by 3 conductors, as well as Capella Bydgoszcz and the Symphony Orchestra of the Pomeranian Philharmonics. The prize pool totals €64,000 and also includes the possibility of performing in a dozen or so countries worldwide. Internet transmission will be available at paderewskicompetition.pl.